Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Papa.
I'm Callie.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Man, the girls are really putting in work lately. I got 46 eggs out of the new chickens today. Good job, girls. Right there's good. There we go. Hey everyone, it's so nice to have you with us today. We have been very, very busy. We got an earlier than normal start because we've got so much stuff going on. In the upcoming days, we're forecast to get rain every single day. And because of that, we've kind of thrown ourselves full force into planting season. For the past few days and this morning, we've been working very, very hard at getting everything prepared so that when we're ready to get started planting, we can jump right into it. On top of that, we've got our regular chores that need to be done. So right away this morning, we got the animals all taken care of, and I'm just checking on these greenhouses. We've been spending a lot of time spreading fertilizer. Daniel has been and is currently planting corn. He got started early on that today. Matthew has spent a lot of time up in front of the farm market. I think yesterday he spent 26 or 27,000 steps just up there with the flowers taking care of customers. And Dad and I have been running crazy with all different types of jobs. It's nice to see that we're getting busy, but at this point in the year, there's so much stuff going on, it can get a little overwhelming. So as I had previously mentioned, I'm just walking through the greenhouse. I'm checking on plants. There are a few areas that definitely need some water. You can see this cabbage is wilting here. We also have a few local farmers that need their seed delivered, so that's something that we need to focus on as well. Here in greenhouse number 5, I'm seeing much less that needs to be watered right now, but the growth that we've seen in this greenhouse has been pretty crazy. Right here we have some pickling cucumbers for sales, and following that is some zucchini. It's been exploding. And you know, if we're on the farm, we have to talk about our peppers. Look at these long hots. Wow, they look incredible. The long hots have been something that I've been very, very proud of. Well, I should say not just the long hots, our hot peppers in general. They've been spectacular. And another thing that I'm happy to mention is our sweet peppers. They are catching up. We're seeing a lot of new growth towards the center of the plant. My brother was in greenhouse number 6, so I know that's good to go. We're not gonna have to worry about that one. One last thing I definitely wanna touch on, these cole crops that we had moved out of the greenhouse to harden them off, they have been doing really, really well. You'll notice there is some wilting. Yeah, this definitely needs to be watered this morning. But with the winds that we've been receiving and some of the cooler temperatures at night, leaving this stuff outside has really prepared it for planting. And with the upcoming storms that are fast approaching, I think we have like 5 or 6 days where we're expecting storms in a row. So that's gonna be a lot of rain. Our goal is to get all this stuff put into the soil before that rain gets here. Can we do it? I'm not sure, but we're definitely gonna try. So we've got the animals all taken care of, farm markets all set up. I've got some things around here I need to take care of. I'm gonna let you guys see what Daniel's been working on.
planting the shortest season test plot corn. I'm trying to plant the shortest season so that if we do in the fall and we need a field of corn early, this one should be the driest. So I was planting 94 day in these 2 hoppers, and now I'm pretty well empty, and I was planting 96 in those 3 hoppers. So right now I'm down to 98 over there and 99 over here, because it's what I got.
Oh yeah. Daniel was having a little bit of trouble with one of the hoppers, but once I got back there, he seemed to have figured it out. So while I was with him, I decided to pull some rocks out of that field. Just some of the larger rocks. There aren't too many in the fields on this side of the farm, but when we see them, we try and grab them. It's nice to see that his planter is working well for him. We're hoping to get the rest of our corn planted today, maybe tomorrow morning. If we could get it done today, we would be excited. Daniel's been working on getting the corn planted for the last few days. It's a little bit early for us, but the weather has been so nice, we didn't want to spoil this opportunity. Moving into one of the busiest times of the year for us in dealing with the farm market, having all our corn planted, it's gonna make us feel a lot better. Another thing we've been pretty happy with is how warm it's been. Even our low temperatures haven't been anything crazy low. So those 2 things mixed together, it's gonna be beneficial for us. The farmer that we're delivering seed to needs 60 bags. That's what they have scheduled to come. So we've got 30 here on the back, then we've got 24 on the bottom stack, and then we got 6 here on top. So that puts us at 60 bags. So all we have to make sure is what we have on this paper matches up with what we have on the truck, and then we should be good. Can you pick that up? These can be stacked. 5 or 6. Like 5 and a stack. These bags are so heavy. Now it's interesting, sometimes these bags have the same exact kernels in them, but the weight is so different. And a lot of times that's due to kernel size. And these bags that we're unloading, I'd say these are probably closer to 60, 62 pounds. A lot heavier than some of the other bags that we unload.
62.11 pounds.
What did I tell you? How did I know the weight, Dad?
I probably told you before.
Now the corn we have already unloaded, that was 105-day corn, and the corn that we have here on the truck is 100-day corn. Now what's interesting about these bags is that these are only 46 or 47 pounds. So there's a big difference in weight, but there's the same amount of kernels, and that all goes down to kernel size. So even the bags are considerably lighter, you still can plant the same amount with each bag. Just like that, we got all our seed corn unloaded. So now, whenever this farmer wanted to, he could get started with planting corn. Those last few bags of seed that we got put onto the truck, that's for another farmer. I've got to make that delivery right now. The only thing that's a little unfortunate is that farm's a little bit further away, so it's going to take me a while to get there. And it's lunchtime, so I'm going to be missing lunch. We got to get this order delivered now. Well, it's going to be lunch in a few minutes. When I was in there, though, Grammy made some rice pudding. I put in a cup. This is some travel rice pudding. This is some good rice pudding. Now, when it comes to lunch, I don't like missing it, obviously. Look at me, but if anyone can afford to do it, I think I could. But the big reason why I'm a little upset about missing lunch today is Grammy's making chip venison. Oh yeah, chip venison is so good. But I'm missing out on that, but I felt like this was important enough of a job to get done, so I'm not gonna cry about it too much. Just maybe when I get home to Lauren. As I'm making this delivery, I'm looking around quite a bit. I'm trying to find a tree called the dogwood. When the ground warms up enough to the point you can start planting corn, this tree called the dogwood will actually start blooming. That's what my dad said all the old timers would look for. When the dogwood start blooming, it was time to plant corn. So it's always interesting to see as you're driving through the forest. You can see either these beautiful white or they've got like a slight pink to them, the wild dogwoods. They look really, really nice. And once you see dogwoods start blooming, then you're kind of like, okay, let's get planting corn. Now, we got started a little early this year, but as I've been driving around today, I am seeing some dogwoods out in blossom. So that is a good sign. That means we picked a good time to do it. The seed I just got delivered is for a new customer of ours. They're trying out about 20 acres of Pioneer seed. So, I mean, that's pretty exciting. If they like it and it works out well for them, they're possibly going to be getting some more. But I just got them all unloaded and taken care of, and now I'm on my way home. With all the planting going on and how busy we are, we really haven't had an opportunity to get out to the fields all too often and check on everything that's been growing. Now, I wanted to change that up a little bit and show you guys how the peas are growing. Now, you know my love-hate relationship with peas. When we really get down to it, you know, it's something that we picked for the first time of the year. It's not easy to pick. You got to be low to the ground. But it is enjoyable to have a vegetable that we are harvesting. And when we look out through the field, we are seeing strips of grain. And here we have some of our peas that have come up out of the soil, and they look really, really good. We've got quite a few strips of green going out through the field. There's going to be plenty of peas to harvest. And we actually noticed when we got our planter all set up and ready to go that one of our hopper units was not running correctly. And I'm glad we found that out, because for the past couple years, we've had one row of peas that hasn't been growing right, and we figured it out. It was the hopper. Now that our hopper is all taken care of, the peas continue to grow nice. And if we continue to have peas like this, I think we're gonna have a really, really nice harvest. And when we really get down to it, that just means more work for us. But hey, if the peas look nice, that means they'll probably taste pretty good too, and I'm looking forward to that. Now right here is where we had all our potatoes planted. I'm not seeing anything sprouting out of the soil just yet, and that's to be expected. It's still early on. So this is what I really wanted to see. I went for a little ride because I wanted to check on the sweet corn that we had recently seeded under the biodegradable mulch. Now I broke up an area up there, but let's check right here as well. If we just take this and open it up, yeah, there it is. Look at that, we've got our corn sprouting. That looks beautiful. Now I've talked about this planting method before, but what this is gonna do is allow us to harvest sweet corn about 2 to 3 weeks sooner than we normally would. Some of this corn is already about 3 inches out of the soil, which is a really, really good start for us. And when I opened up this biomulch, the amount of warmth that was underneath it is very, very interesting. I like how this acts as a greenhouse effect, and it really gives these plants a great start. It's funny, as I look out over the biomulch, there's like a green tint to it, and that's from all the pollen coming off these trees. But something else that I noticed, and you might notice if I pick you up a little bit, you can see some of this mulch has really been beat up. Now this biomulch that I have behind me, its main ingredient is cornstarch. Because of that, it's not very strong. It's kind of on the thin side. And we recently had wind gusts roll through here that were in the upper 50s. So it was pretty intense. We had a lot of trees that had fell down, and because of that, it actually ripped up a lot of this mulch behind me. Thankfully, even though that some of the mulch was ripped up, we can still see that there are certain areas where the corn was able to sit under the mulch for a little bit longer. Now, we did seed some corn right next to the mulch. Now, I did this the conventional way, and if I were to look around here or there, I am seeing some corn popping up out of the soil. For example, we've got a nice stretch here where corn is popping out of the soil, but you can see the size difference. This stuff is much smaller. It's gonna take a little bit longer for this stuff to mature. All things considered, it has been pretty dry around here, but with this week of moisture coming up, I think this stuff is gonna take off like crazy. We've been very blessed to have some warmer weather, which has helped with getting all this stuff taken care of. But if we were to have that extra moisture, ooh, it's gonna be fun. Right when I got back from delivering that seed, I just wanted to come out here and see how this stuff was growing. And I figured this would be a good opportunity for me to show you guys as well. So with our potatoes, we're not seeing much growth, but with our peas and sweet corn, oh, we're seeing a lot. We're now back at the farm after checking on all the crops. Dad, I just want you to know the peas look great. And your corn looks pretty good too. We were looking at it together. But now that we're here, Dad is actually working on seeding our tomatoes that we're gonna be planting out into the soil here in the near future. So we've gotta get these seeded and into our 98 cell trays. So Dad's running the seeder and I'm just helping him out any way possible.
Just got done planting Biltmore, and then the other variety we like nice is Primo Red. So I'm gonna plant some Primo Red. Seeder goes faster and works nicer when you have more seeds on the plate. When you get down to a few seeds, it gets harder to do. But when you can pile them on like that and let it vibrate, it does a nice job.
Dad is now putting some red deuce tags onto these trays. If we can get the red deuce tomatoes seeded today, that's gonna be really, really good for us. As of right now, it may not look like we have that many trays here, but we're gonna continue to seed trays and we're gonna fill up this entire area. We just might not get there today. To put these trays in perspective for each and every one of you, if you remember back to when we were harvesting tomatoes, those red baskets that we pick into, those are half bushel baskets. You can expect about a half bushel of tomatoes off a tomato plant on average. So when we look at each one of these trays, you're looking at about 100 baskets of tomatoes. So if we just do our quick math, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, well, that's 1,400 baskets of tomatoes. Will we get that? I'm not 100% sure. I don't expect us to. However, the thing to keep in mind is when you raise tomatoes the way that we do, and you sell as many tomatoes as you do, those tomatoes up there, they're just gonna be so valuable to us. Will we get 1,400 baskets? I don't know about that, but we're still gonna be able to pick a lot of tomatoes. Now, the number one thing to keep in mind is that we plant 4 plantings of tomatoes. So this is our very, very first planting of tomatoes. So whatever we get off this planting, we're gonna be really, really excited about. When it really comes down to it, the number one most important thing is just having tomatoes all throughout the year for the people in the local area. That's why we plant 4 plantings, and that's why we focus on it so hard. So these red Deuce tomatoes, the Primo red tomatoes, and what was the other variety up there?
Biltmore.
Biltmore. Those three varieties are ones that we sell to the people in the local area, but it's also tomatoes that we enjoy using ourselves. Goodness, is it hot in here. I think when I was looking down at the thermometer, the temperature was like in the 90s, but it feels like it's creeping up every single time that sun comes out. We got about 20 trays of tomatoes seeded, so that should be good for our round tomatoes. We're gonna do just half that for the plum. We have them all set and ready to go, but we've got to move on to a different job. We have to haul a steer to the butcher, so we need to go down and get that all loaded up. I love this time of year, but it seems like we're just so busy, jumping from one job to another.
Easy peasy.
When you have the help and enough gates, loading cattle is not that bad of a job. So Mom, tell me, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Cincinnati chili.
Ooh, sounds good. You can see outside we got the whole squad here. Callie, you're looking cute. We got Mr. Ronnie over here. And then over here on the swing is Lily. Wow. We've now reached the time of day where everybody is sitting down ready to eat, so you guys know what that means. This is where we're gonna be ending the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.